What is going on, guys? George here with another video, and in today's video we're going to be installing a what?
A trunk. Elephant trunk. SpongeBob. The fate of your freaking truck is right here on this piece of paper. Is this it? Make it look like I'm reading.
So before we start, we're going to start by masking everything to protect the paint. Now we're going to start by placing the template that's provided. Make sure it's aligning with the fender. So the question is, how do I feel about cutting my fender? Well, at this point, I think I've done enough cutting, but you know what? It always hurts to cut anything when it comes onto the truck. This is a huge investment, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. And the best thing about it is that I'm not gonna be doing any cutting today. Marvin is gonna have the honor today of doing the cutting, so. Bro, I've done enough cutting already, it's your turn.
It's only my first time, so what can go wrong, dude? It's only like 2 weeks or what, a week before SEMA?
Yeah, we're probably about a week and a half.
Yeah, what can go wrong?
Not much. I mean, earlier today I was driving, this truck kicked up a rock, cracked my windshield, so at this point, you know. So now what you wanna do is grab a Sharpie, just mark the holes. That way you're able to remove the template and you know exactly where to drill the holes. Look at this Picasso right here. Wow.
That's George right there.
What if you mess up? Alright, so now he's going to be using something called a step drill bits to make all the holes. So there is going to be a couple of screws along the edge of this fender flare. You will have to remove them to access the fender liner. So what do you think of that Sabon carbon fiber hood, Marvin?
This thing weighs nothing, dude.
Right?
I could do it with like a pinky.
Alright, try it.
Nah, dude. Look, I already broke my pinky once. I'm not doing it again.
So now that we have the fender flare and the liner removed, we're going to be removing the intake. You don't have to remove the whole entire thing, but we're going to start by loosening up this bolt here. Once we do that, there's going to be a couple tabs here on the side of the intake. We just go ahead and pull them up and remove the top portion of it. Inside the intake box, you will see 3 bolts, 2 inside, 1 right outside, and we're going to go ahead and remove those to have access to the bottom portion of the intake. Alright, so now that I removed the lower portion of the intake, I'm going to go ahead and just remove this other part. And this is, you're not going to be needing this anymore, so you can just toss it. And we are going to have to file down these small little tabs. That way we're able to use the clamp that's provided by ARB to secure the hose that goes to the snorkel. Hey, Picasso! So he's basically just adding paint to prevent any type of rust.
It's definitely not hard, it's a little intimidating. I think using the template is definitely a good idea. Make sure that aligns perfectly. You know, you want to cut once, and that's it. You just have to, once you drill the holes, dude, just don't turn back. And I think I was making the holes too small, and I was trying to like force them in there, and George is like, just open them up. This is like a 1/4 inch, dude. But it gives you enough wiggle room to just place it in there and go to town.
So one of the main reasons that it took me this long to pull the trigger when it comes down to the snorkel is because I didn't want to drill into my pillar. It is suggested in the instruction manual, but Marvin over here said, you know what, we don't even have to do that. I know a couple of friends that are rocking it without the bracket that goes on the pillar. So what he's going to be doing now is he's going to be wrapping pretty much the whole pillar to protect it from any type of vibration, since we're not going to be using the brackets.
Just keep it from scratching. It's not going to stop it from denting, but any friction that's being caused off-road, you know, it'll keep it from scratching.
Yeah, definitely. Not only that, but sometimes you never know when you do make any hose when it comes down to the pillar, or sometimes even when you're installing a roof rack, you do have a tendency of sometimes leaking. You know, sometimes you get water that kind of seeps in through the seals. I really don't want to do that. Before we put the intake back on, we do have to put this hose through the inside of the fender into the engine bay. It is a little tricky. Be very careful, especially if you did cut this. Well, you obviously did cut it, but just be very careful. So my suggestion is that you put it through the bottom. The reason why is because keep in mind, even if you sanded this area or you use the Dremel to kind of grind it down and make it nice and neat, it's still pretty fairly sharp. The last thing you want to do is stick your hand in here and cut yourself with the sharp edges. All right, so now that we have the hose inside, we're gonna go ahead and place the snorkel on top of the fender. All right, so once you finish installing the bottom portion of the snorkel, you will have another hose clamp here to attach this top portion of it. And here you have it, guys, finished product. So what do you guys think, guys? The reason why I ask you guys, I feel like a lot of you guys have been subscribed for a long time. You guys are basically part of this build. I sometimes get emails, even sometimes messages on Instagram with suggestions, and I sometimes do take them into consideration. So snorkel, no snorkel. Oh man, I think we're stuck with the snorkel. There's no going back after drilling that hole, huh, Marvin? This thing is super solid. And what trips me out is I don't know why people actually drill into the pillar. I don't think it's even needed. This thing is super solid with the 6 bolts that are holding the bottom portion of the snorkel. Do you agree, Marvin?
Yeah, you can get away with it.
And not only that, like you saw earlier, Marvin also wrapped the pillar just in case. You never know if it does get loose or if it starts vibrating with some crazy terrains, then you can definitely protect the pillar from getting scratched. So I hope you guys enjoyed this small little install. I know it wasn't as detailed as we wanted to. As you can see here, got a little dark on us. We were working on other projects. Marvin is super booked right now. He's getting calls, emails left and right. People want to wrap their trucks. And Marvin,
hey, all I know is you gotta pay up big time.
but you guys know who to hit up for your wrap. And you never know, if you need an install, hit him up as well. I'm sure he'll give you a good price. How much, Marvin? $1,000 per session?
I think about like arm and leg for a snorkel install.
Gotta pay this guy the big bucks, you know? It is what it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to keep watching this series, which is Road to SEMA, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, tell a friend, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.